Hey everyone, welcome to my channel if you're new, or welcome back if you're not. So today I'm going to be doing my version on my oily skin of an easy summer makeup look. I've seen a lot of these on YouTube at the moment because obviously it's summertime. But I feel like when I watch them, maybe they're more aimed towards like dry skin and stuff, but they tend to incorporate a lot of creams so that it's kind of like fresh and dewy. But for me, like, I have oily skin anyway, especially in the summer when it's hot, and then if I was to add like cream products on top of that, I would just be dripping in sweat. So with those kind of summer makeup looks that I've been watching recently anyway, I just feel like can't relate. So I thought I would hop on here and do my kind of version of that, where it's still like really easy and simple and natural, but just a little more oily girl friendly. And just one more thing to note before we jump into it, the lighting may change slightly throughout this just because I have my blinds open on my windows today to leave in some extra natural light, as well as my studio lights. So if there is any slight shifts in lighting, it's because the sun is going behind clouds or coming out from behind clouds. But yeah, let's get started. Okay, so I have nothing on my skin. I cleansed and moisturized this morning. It's now the afternoon, it's 1:45. So as you can see, I'm already oily. So before we get started, I want to blot that off. I don't want to be adding product on top of that and trapping that oil into my pores. So I'm going to take some blotting sheets, which are an oily girl essential during summer. Whether you're wearing makeup or not, it just soaks up any oil or sweat in the heat. Been so lovely and warm here recently in Ireland. We've been having a heat wave as well as in the UK, and as far as I know, I think California has been having a heat wave as well, which they're probably not enjoying it as much as we are because they are used to getting sun, whereas it's such a treat for us here. So it is nice, but it's also kind of scary because, you know, global warming. I saw a post that Leonardo DiCaprio put up that said that this year so far, something like 30 or 35 locations around the world have hit their highest temperature ever, I think, this year. So that's kind of crazy. Okay, so I've blotted all that oil off. That's how much was on my face just from being my skin. So I really just couldn't imagine putting on cream over cream and just being like fresh and dewy. I wish I could, but it's all about the matte for me. So I'm going to start off with my current favorite primer. This is the matte face base from Kiko. And I'm going to use a little mini flat top kabuki brush and pop that all over. If you're not as oily as I am, if you're more kind of combination, you can just pop this in like your T-zone or wherever you get oily. And then I'm going to spot conceal, and I'm going to use the NYX Above and Beyond Full Coverage Concealer. And I'm just going to take that over any blemish marks, any little areas of redness. I'm trying not to go overboard with this because I can so easily start off with just spot concealing and then end up with full coverage concealer all over my face. So if you know me, if you've seen my videos before, you might know that my preferred kind of base is like a full coverage liquid concealer or a full coverage liquid foundation. But today, because we are keeping it nice and natural for like an easy summer look, I'm going to spot conceal and then go over with coloured powder, like a powder foundation, and that's what's going to help us not be so heavy but still keep matte and keep the oils at bay. And I'm also just going to go under the eye with that as well. So now that I've removed most of the discoloration, I'm going to go in with the MAC Studio Fix powder. So this will be considered a powder foundation because it does add coverage. It doesn't just like set your makeup or add a tint of colour. You can get coverage out of it and you can build it up. So I'm going to take that same little kabuki brush, flat top kabuki. And I'm not sure how this shade is going to go for me at the moment. It might be a little bit light, but we shall see. So anywhere that I like over my forehead, I just kind of swept it on and did like circular brushing motions because I didn't have too much concealer up there that I wasn't concerned about moving. But like my cheeks, where I do have more concealer, and my under eyes, I'm going to push it on so that I'm not moving any of the concealer underneath, and we're keeping all that coverage. So as you can see, that totally evened out my skin tone. It gave me the coverage that I needed, and it has also mattified me. We're still looking a little bit light, but it's okay, we'll bronze up. So to do that, I have this from Tan Organic. It's their bronzing powder duo. So it has a bronzer and a deep gold highlight. And I'm going to go in with a Morphe E3 and take that bronzer and start bronzing up. I'm going to start in my forehead or 5 head. And so bronzing, we're adding colour where the sun would naturally hit. I'm going to go along my cheekbones. And I'm not being as kind of precise and sculpted as they would be with a contour, and I'm coming up a little bit higher. I'm also going to take that across the bridge of the nose where the sun would naturally hit. And I'll just use that to contour a little bit under the jawline. So then I'm going to dip into this shimmery highlight shade, and I'm actually just going to use the same brush because I don't want it to be like too precise. I'm just going to sweep that on the tops of the cheekbones for a nice golden highlight. So then onto blush. I rarely go for a blush with shimmer in. I prefer a matte blush, but this is one of the few ones that I like that has more of like a satiny finish to it. It's like a mineralized blush. This is from Flormar. It is their Terracotta Blush On in the shade 44 Pink Bronze. So because it is a mixture of pink and bronze, it's going to give us a nice bronzy blushed effect. And I'm just going to pop that onto the cheek, or to the apples of the cheeks, and blend backwards. And because it has that little bit of shimmer in it, it gives that kind of fresher look to the skin, but because it's still a powder, it's not going to make you kind of more greasy and more oily. I'm just going to brush a small bit over the nose and take a little bit more of that into the chin and around the forehead, just to kind of blend it all together. So you can see we are looking, as I say, fresh and a little bit of dewiness to it, but it's all powders, which is what I like. So for the brows, I'm going to use a brow pencil and just give them a quick fill in, so that it's still natural, but you want to define them. And I should have plucked before I started filming. You know what, I'm just going to go in with the tweezers now, so excuse any redness that suddenly appears under my brows, but that's just too annoying. I'm just trying to do just the obvious hairs so that it doesn't get too red. Okay, I think that'll do. Okay, so then onto eyes. We are going to be keeping it simple, but just because if I'm ever putting anything onto my eyelids, I do use a primer, because again, my lids are as oily as my face and whatever goes on top will crease unless I use a primer. So I'm going in with my Urban Decay Primer Potion just to stop any creasing. There's no colour to this one. This is just the anti-aging formula, so it's still clear. And then to set that, I'm just going to go in with my face powder. And just give me a little bit of coverage to get rid of any discoloration. And then, as I said, we are keeping it simple, so I'm going to go back into that bronzing duo that I was using and take the matte bronzer and just pop that into the crease. So that's just given some shape and dimension to the eye, and because it's matching the bronzer on my face, because it's the same product, it makes it all more cohesive and more natural looking. And I'm also just going to add a bit under the eye as well. And then I'll take that golden highlight shade on a flat brush and pop that across the lid. And because this is like a deeper golden shade, it gives a nice bronzy kind of vibe to the eye. Minty, I'm gonna have to bring you in. I'm just going back in with the bronzer and just blending that onto the outer corner of the lid. And then because this highlight, this golden highlight, is like a deeper gold, I'm going to mix that with a lighter shimmery eyeshadow. I just have the original Naked palette, and I'm going to dip into Sin as well and kind of mix those two together just to brighten it up so that I can pop that into my inner corner and have it be a little bit brighter. That's just a personal preference thing. You don't need to do that if you don't want to, or if you want to keep the products as minimal as you can. And also that's because that's the kind of highlight that I have in this palette. Sometimes I'll have like a bronzer or a contour and a brighter, more champagne-y or more kind of pinky highlight. I might just put the bronzer in the crease, leave the lid matte, and then pop the bright highlight on the inner corner. But just depends what you're using and what your personal preference is. So next I'm going to curl my lashes, and I'm using this half lash curler from MAC that I got for my kit, but I've yet to use it on myself. I'll try it out. Since I won't be adding any liner, I want my lashes, my poor little short straight lashes, to stand out as much as they can. And then I'm going to be using the Too Faced Better Than Sex waterproof mascara. This is the only mascara I've used anyway that will hold my curl in my lashes all day long until I take it off at the end of the night. And it adds to the whole kind of fresh, awake look. And of course it depends what you're going to be doing on your summer's day, but if you are going to be around water, a waterproof mascara might be a better bet. Okay, so for the lip, you could really kind of do whatever it is you feel like doing. People's preferences with like lip colors and lip textures and stuff really varies. So for me, I tend to like things that are more matte again, but obviously for different reasons. Just because I like something that's a little bit more long lasting. I'm not the kind of person who tends to like touch up my makeup a bunch of times throughout the day, unless I'm like at an event or something where I just want to make sure that I look good. But at the same time, I don't want anything too heavy like a liquid lip or something like that. So what I'm going to do is go in with a matte lip crayon. So it's something that's like, again, quick and easy. And then I'll top it off with a gloss to give it more of a fresh look. So this is the Inglot lip crayon in number 16, which is a nice brownie nude. And these actually have little sharpeners in the bottom. They come out like that. And then you can use that to sharpen the tips. So I'm going to do that because I want to make my lip line a little bit cleaner. And then I'm going to use my favourite gloss, which is the Rimmel Oh My Gloss in Non-Stop Glamour. It just gives the nicest shine and it feels really smooth on the lips as well. And then finally, because if you're watching this, I'm presuming you're an oily girl as well. Because we're oily girls, I'm going to set that a little bit more with some setting spray. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Fixing Mist. And these generally need a good shake up. And then just while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to take a little bit more of my highlight and just pop that on my collarbones and a little bit on my shoulders. And then that completes my easy summer fresh makeup look for oily skin. So I hope you liked the look and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. That lets me know that you like this kind of video and it also helps out my channel an awful lot. And of course, if you'd like to see more from me, you can subscribe to my channel for free if you want to. So with all of that said, that is it from me for today. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you on the next one. Bye guys.